Hello drivers, and welcome to this new weekly update where we discuss about the interactions between Ubisoft Reflection and the driver community. And today is a special anniversary because it's been 1 year since the community manager of Ubisoft Reflection asked the community for Twitter cover submissions. And after a strict 3 days deadline, we still have not gotten any answer of the winner of this community contest. And today we are going to get a look at these submissions because in my opinion they deserve more to be in a forgotten Twitter post, and it will be a review but certainly not a ranking because all the submissions were great and deserve to win the community contest. And before starting, let's read again the guidelines from the community managers. So it has to be related to Ubisoft or Newcastle, and it has to be copyright free. So now let's see some of the submissions. And let's start with mine that I posted under the Driver Madness Twitter account. Maybe giving me a bit of advantage in terms of exposure, but well. And the idea I had with this community cover was to show all the games that Ubisoft Reflections developed under the Ubisoft brand. So of course Driver San Francisco, but also Bud, those from Grow Home. We have Ode, the Bubbles, and Atomega, the Square type of game, and all of them are on the front, and in the back you have Ubisoft Reflection logo, and also in black and white all the games from Ubisoft portfolio, which is taken, if I'm not wrong, of a marketing screenshot of Ubisoft Plus, the subscriptions type of PlayStation Now and stuff like that. And well, and also if you look at Tanner in the Driver San Francisco part, it's not San Francisco, the city, in the silhouette, but it's Newcastle, of course, since it's what it was one of the recommendation in the guidelines. So 1 year later, I think I will not use a black and white background. Maybe I could have done better the contrast between the front and the background, and also you don't really see the games in the background, so I'm not sure that it is really the best way to show the portfolio and the fact that Ubisoft Reflections, even if it's a studio that helped develop a lot of games, is also a studio that did its own games. That's what I wanted to show in the community cover. And also maybe the silhouette of Tanner is not the best blend, and maybe we see too much Newcastle, maybe not enough Tanner. Well, I mean, there is always room to improve, and also of course there is a little Jack head hidden in the odd bubbles, because of course Jack is part of Ubisoft Reflections and all the community. Now let's go to Snoopii submission, because Snoopii does not only make great mods and sheet tables, but he also can use Photoshop apparently, and his submission is maybe more straight to the point than mine, because you see the famous bridge of Newcastle in the background, you see Ubisoft Reflection logo, and you see the car of Driver San Francisco. So it's simpler but maybe more straight to the point, and I really like it. Of course, I also liked the tweet on Twitter, and it had 27 likes and also a reaction from Olanov, of course. So now let's go to Xtreemo submission. And Xtreemo, if you don't know, is a fellow member of the driver community. He made a lot of artworks for the Driver Syndicate, which are available on his Behance page, and he also made the YouTube cover of my channel. So of course he's really good when it comes to design, and in this case it's also more straight to the point. It's not related to Newcastle, I believe, but of course it's very driver related, and you see the logo of Ubisoft Reflections and a car, which might or might not be from a driver game, but you get the idea of the tutorial parking garage that is well known and that of course is attached to Ubisoft Reflections. Now let's go to the most unique community cover of the batch, which is from Scrub, and it's different, I would say. So as you can see, you have the logo of Ubisoft Reflections and its name, but I don't see anything else on the meeting of the guidelines, so no Ubisoft, no Newcastle. So, but it has to be noted that it is the only submissions that was liked by Ubisoft Reflection account. So I don't know if it means it was the winner, but in any case, the community cover was never used. And lastly, the submission from Carl, and if you don't know, Carl is also a fellow member of the driver community, but is also a speedrunner, and I made a video about the speedrun tricks and tips for Driver 3 as a video guide. So if you have not checked yet, look at it, because he is the one narrating it. And he goes with a classic, I would say, Twitter cover submission, because you can see the logo of Ubisoft Reflections, you can see in the background the car of Tanner, but what I like is the fact he used an artwork showing Jericho on one side and Tanner on the other, and they are like looking at each other, so it gives a good vibes. It's a nice Twitter cover, I would say, and it respects, of course, the size to fit very well if it were chosen by the community manager of Reflections. And so, what happened since then? Maybe you are asking. Well, the cover was changed 2 times, I believe, and currently it's just showing Ubisoft. But it's part of the new buildings of Ubisoft Reflections, but it's not one of the community cover submissions. So now it's been a year. We have asked a few times, but without answers about the results. So the only time it was officially mentioned, I would say, was when Jack Kuvela himself talked about the tweets and the comments and the replies, and I think I agree with his statement, but sadly it was in December, and now it's been a year since the start of the deadline, and maybe we will get an answer, because as you may know, in 1 week is the 10th anniversary of the release of Driver San Francisco, so what better time to celebrate the community than at this date. So finger crossed, and of course we will keep you posted if anything change. Thanks again for watching today's weekly update, and see you soon in 2 weeks, and in the meantime, see you soon on my YouTube channel. Bye drivers.